Hello. Welcome to another episode of Bold and Unique Living with Katrina Loco. I'm shifting gears and I'm doing something different here today. And I am actually recording the show video as well as recording it audio. For you on video, this is actually my podcast and not my television talk show. And for you that are still listening on my podcast, welcome back. I'm trying to reach as many people as I wanted to reach. I am trying to make sure that the topics and the things that we're doing here at Bold and Unique Living with Katrina Loco, people are getting it, and I'm hoping it's transforming their lives. I'm just excited to bring some added flavor to it. So we've been in a series of talking about things that we've wasted, and we have wasted many things. We talked about wasted time. We've talked about wasted energy, wasted relationships, wasted faith, just everything that we have wasted. Well, today I want to end that series, and the series that we were on is wasted relationships, things that you wasted, whether it was husband and wife relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend, or just friends, and in general, and ways that you need to be a friend. So we've talked about many things concerning that. So I want to end with that because I want us to move into something that has been near and dear to me and is something that we stand for here at Bold and Unique Living. And we're talking about our identity, and I'm going to call it our secret identity. So let's end off with wasted relationships, and then we'll move right in to our secret identity. So the last time we talked, the last podcast, we were talking about wasted relationships and how we've all have been in relationships, like I said, whether it's intimate relationships or relationships with just friends and family members, co-workers, been in relationships that have been very toxic. Then we've been into those relationships that added so much value to our lives and taken us to whole other levels. I want you guys to remain in an atmosphere of watching those relationships in your life, because they are time snatchers and they're dream stoppers as well. So I want you to take the time to really evaluate the people that are in your life. Now, I'm not telling you to just go look and critique and just look and look and look and look. I'm just saying, truly look at your surroundings and ask, are they adding to me or are they taking away? But I want you to also make sure that you are adding to the lives of other people and you're not taking away and wasting their time as well. I'm just really in a place right now in my life where I only want to add value to others, but I also only want people to add value to me. I don't want the nonsense stuff. We all have had nonsense and we all have had drama and trauma. It's time out for all of that. And we really just need to focus on being an added value and only having people add value to us as well. So with that being said, we're going to switch some gears. I'm really appreciative for you guys that follow us, that watch my television talk show on FMD Global TV, and that listens to the podcast every Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and also those who read our magazine. I'm just really excited about all that we're doing here at our company, and it's just really going to higher heights, and I'm just excited about that. So we're going to switch gears and we're going to get into our secret identity. So for you that don't know, Bold and Unique Living is about presenting your own unique personality, your own unique character, your own unique fingerprint. There's nothing like you ever anywhere. You are a field to your own. You are a person to your own. There may be people that have similarities to you, especially in your family members. You may look alike, you may act alike, you may have the same mannerisms, but you do not have the same fingerprints. So you are different. And so in discovering who you are, you will find out how different you are. And a lot of times we try to change the things that make us different because it doesn't line up with what someone else says it should be. And I'm encouraging you to not to do that anymore. I had lunch with a friend the other day, and her and I was talking about the things that we gave up. And you guys, I'm going to go there. For you guys that know me, know that I'm not afraid to tackle the topics that are controversial. I'm not afraid to touch the things that other people don't want to touch. It's time out for things being taboo. It's time out for people thinking, oh, well, you may shouldn't say that because they're going to. I really don't care what people think. I never really have. So I'm just going to dive into some things and hear me out. If you don't want to watch anymore, then don't. But we've got to really touch some things because there's lives hanging in the balance. And then there's people that are stuck in their lives and they want out, they're crying out, but they can't because truth is not being presented because nobody wants to hurt nobody's feelings. Nobody want to expose or do. And I'm not talking about expose in a bad way. That's not what I'm saying. But if I was to ask you, hey, and we'll use something real simple, this green, does it look good on me? And you're just like, oh yeah. And then I look in the mirror and the green looks like a big fat rabbit or a big fat, no, don't do that. Say, well, hey, do you think it looks good? And if I think it looks good, then hey, you can't help that. But if it really doesn't look good and it really I could change it, then I would need to know that. And that's a small thing. But think about those small details that is really stopping people from moving forward in their lives or taking them to levels that stopping them from going to levels that they need to go. And so with that being said, then you need to open up and be honest, especially if they're friends. Now, if it's a stranger or something, they may not take it well because you're not their friend and you're not somebody that need to be telling them anything. I'm talking to I'm talking to you about people within your circle. So identity. Your identity is something that has always been with you. Whether you've walked in that identity or the false identity that someone told you to walk in. And what do I mean by false identity? The false identity is the identity that it could be your school, it could be your church, it could be your home, tells you, especially when the family has more than one children, why come you can't be more like your sister? Why come you can't be more like your brother? Depending on the type of child you are and the way you receive that, you may try to alter your life to be like these people that an authority figure in your life has told you need to be like. But that's not necessarily true. You need to be you, and you need to be doing it uniquely you, because that's who we're all looking for. That's who's needed, not the person you're pretending to be. So I remember a time in my life where everybody tried to get me to line up with the way society thought it should be or the way the church thought it should be. I didn't fit the norm. I didn't fit what looked like it should have looked like because, hey, somebody else set those standards. I didn't. So I didn't match. I didn't resemble anything they wanted. And I remember crying about that. And I thought to myself, well, maybe I do need to change. Maybe I do need to tweak some things about myself. But then I thought, no, maybe I just need to not be over there altogether. Maybe that's not my tribe. Maybe that's not my lane. Maybe that's not. And so when I came to that realization, I understood that, guess what? It wasn't. Because anything that is trying to change you, now hear me out. I'm not talking about things that you know yourself you need to change. So don't use this as that to justify you still doing something you shouldn't. But if there's something you don't need to change, if it's something that's in your character and it's the gift and talent that you came to this earth with, you don't need to be around people that's telling you to lose it because it's not so. But if it's something that is holding you back and if it's something that is causing you more harm than good, yeah, you need to change that. You really need to change that and you need to work that out. But with your identity, you need to know that you were created with that identity for a reason. And with that identity that you were created with, it's because the people that you are called to or the people that are called to you will only recognize you by that. So if you're being someone else and if you're mimicking other things and other people, they won't recognize you. they won't even be drawn to you because they don't see what they need. And a lot of people need you. And so you're not supposed to be like everybody else. School and church and other organizations telling us that we should all be the same, and we only want those people in our groups that are like us, and we only want those people that are like us to be a part of us. But that's boring. You want variety. You want people to bring their gifts and talents to the table. I believe that's why things don't work, is because we're so busy trying to build an army of likeness that we're not willing to embrace the difference. And it's the difference that makes things work. It's the difference that the motor started running. You bring your piece, I bring my piece, and we put it together, and it's a whole. It's like when we have potlucks dinners. You may bring the macaroni and cheese. I may bring the turnip greens. Trust me, I'm not the one cooking it because I don't cook. But it's something that we bring that makes it a meal worth remembering. And it's the atmosphere. It changes the atmosphere. It changes everything about what we're doing with each other. So that's why it's important for you to flow in your own unique personality, your own unique character, all of that. Now, I'm not talking about when we have character flaws, and we all have character flaws, and we all have personality flaws. And a lot of those stem from us trying to mimic the things what people say we should. And that is just really not something that is healthy for us. It is not healthy for us to try to be something that we're not. It is not healthy for us to try to mimic other people because we think that's the right way to do things, because it's not. You be you. And I'm going to always encourage you to be you. So let's talk about a couple of things, how you know that you're not walking in your identity. The number one key to knowing that you're not walking in your identity and that you're trying to please everybody, and that you're trying, because when you're faced with the moment, this is how you know. When you're faced with the moment where you need to show up, the real you need to show up, or you can use the fake you, do you sit and contemplate, if I say this as the real me, this is going to happen, that is going to happen. Maybe I shouldn't say it. If you're struggling or battling with who should speak, then 9 times out of 10, you're dealing with an identity crisis. People who are not dealing with identity crisis would say what they mean and mean what they say, and not be concerned how other people take it. Now, I'm not talking about in an arrogant way or a reckless way. I'm talking about in a loving way, in a bold way, in a way that they know that this is me and this is how it is. I cannot change it. I will not change it because I'm tired of suffering. And then that's another key indicator that you're not being who you say you are. If you're miserable and suffering, there's so many people out here trying to figure out what's wrong with their life. Why are they depressed? Why do I feel like this? Why? It's because you're not being you. You're not being you. You're not bringing your character and personality into the room. And you're just not. You probably find yourself in the wrong groups because you're in the groups that are accepting that false you. You probably in the wrong relationships altogether. I remember thinking one time, if I had the opportunity to enter my relationships as me from the beginning, what would that have looked like? A lot of them I probably would have never started. Some of them that I didn't start, I probably would have started based on that. Something is always, we live in a world where something is always pulling at us, and there's always someone looking at us, and there's always someone pointing the finger at us. There's always someone happy with us, and there's someone always disappointed with us. So you're not gonna find that happy medium where you're gonna feel comfortable. So stop trying to make everybody else feel comfortable around you and begin to make yourself feel comfortable around you. Get to know who you really are. I'm talking about who you really are. Y'all, I'm serious. I would take notebooks out and I would literally just write stuff I like I like on a Friday night, I like doing A, B, C, and D. The sounds that I like to hear, the smells that I like, the noise. And then I associate it. Why do I like this? And how long have I liked it like that? When I started breaking that down, it took me a while to do that. And even now, I have not arrived. There's things that I'm still discovering about myself. And I'm understanding that I love myself. I'm beginning to love myself. And there was a time where I didn't like myself, but it was the self that I was pretending to be that I didn't like. And so I imagine you will wake up one day and discover I really like myself. It was just that person that I was trying to be or that I was told I should be that I didn't like. So discovering who I was, there was so many things that I found out I liked about myself. I'm funny, I'm witty, I'm loving, I'm caring, and I love for people to love themselves. I love for people to enjoy life. I'm not that person that just will just sit there and not enjoy life, and I want others to enjoy their lives however it looks for them. It may look different for you than it does for me, but I still want you to enjoy your life. I want you to be you. It doesn't matter. Like when I started my television show, I had to have the right color, the right hairstyle, the right makeup, all that stuff. And granted, you need that stuff for cameras and for the film and everything, but it begins to be like, you're obsessive with this. Is the hair out of the way? What about this and what about that? And I told myself one day when I went on the show, it is what it is. If I have a hair out of place, let's laugh about it. Let's move on. If my eyes are closed when the camera catches me a certain way, if my glasses is glaring, if the hair is out of place. And I wear wigs. For you guys that know, I've talked to you guys about my wig. Yes, I do have hair underneath this wig. But I like wigs because I like wearing different styles. I don't like wearing my hair one way all the time. I may want to wear it a different way, different times. So I buy wigs. I buy wigs. They belong to me, so they're mine. So I'm not concerned if my wig flies off. And by the way, I did tell that story where back in the day, my ponytail popped off and everybody thought that it was a rat that got loose in the place and they were kicking it. And come to find out, I was like, excuse me, that's my ponytail you guys are kicking. So, and that was at a time where it was all funny, laughing game. Now, people probably would expect me to sue for kicking my ponytail. But all that stuff was getting so obsessive, and it was taking the fun out of really doing the show, and it was taking time away from preparing to present what someone really needs to hear so their life will change. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to do the video, and if it is what it is, I want people to get the message. And you have these sheets you go by. People won't get your message if you wear orange. And that may be true. Well, then maybe the message is not for them. And maybe it is for them, but they'll just get it at another time when they grow and realize that it doesn't matter if she had on orange, pink, green, or yellow. I need that message. And they'll come back and listen to it later, and that's okay. But because I'm comfortable now in who I am and I understand some things about me and I love some things about me, I'm not concerned so much about how I look when I come before you. All I'm concerned about is, are you getting set free? Is the information that I'm putting out there changing your life in such a way that you're like, wow, I'm glad I decided to click on this podcast. I'm glad I decided to look at this YouTube video. Is it changing your life? Is it doing something for you? That's all that matters. I know it's doing something for me when it's doing something for you, but it doesn't matter to me what it looks like. I just want you to get it. And if you're not getting it, then I don't need to be on here. I love it when people email me and call me and say something you said really changed my life. I really needed to hear that. I'm excited about that because I know I'm reaching somebody. I have a lot of followers and a lot of viewers and a lot of people do watch, but it's when even if that one come back and say, hey, it changed, then I'm okay with that. So I want you to do that for your own life. I want you to get comfortable in your own skin, no matter what color it is, no matter if it's big or small or anything. I want you to get comfortable in your own skin. Stop trying to Be a certain way, act a certain way. Stop trying to please people. We should be excited about being alive and being able to bring something to the table. What do you have that you can bring to the table? I'm sure it's just something that somebody has been waiting to hear. And so, with that being said, moving forward this week, I want you to really think about some things. I want you to watch some things about yourself moving forward this week. I really do. I want you to think about this. I want you to take notes for all your days, every day, starting tomorrow, Monday morning when you get up. I want you to take notes, and these are the notes I want you to take. And this is all about you, not about anybody else around you. This is all about you. When you wake up, and set your alarm, set this as a reminder. Say, remind me to start researching myself. We'll research everything else, but we'll never research ourselves. And you are an island of yourself, and you are to be explored. You are to be researched. So come Monday morning, I want you to get up and I want you to start researching yourself. The first thing I want you to say Monday morning is, how do I feel? Really. And this is not for you to come back and tell me. All this stuff is for you. It's not for you to share with nobody until you decide you want to share it, if you want to share it, when you want to share it. But this is all for you. I want you to wake up Monday morning, and I want you to say, Monday morning, I want you to wake up Monday. My phone is ringing here. But I want you to wake up Monday morning, and I want you to say, how do I feel? And after you ask yourself how you feel, ask yourself, why do I feel that way? Was there a trigger? Was there a thought? Is there something going on in my life right now that's causing me to feel that way? I want you to explore that. So this is when you first wake up. So Sunday night, which is tonight, I want you to put a piece of paper by your nightstand. And so when you ask yourself that question, I want you to write it down. Because here's the thing. This is what you're going to be meditating on for the day. And it's going to take a while. This research and discovering stuff about yourself, it takes a minute. But it's okay. It's worth it. Don't you think you're worth the investment? So you're going to ask yourself, how do you feel? What do you think? So once you get up, get started, you get in your car, before you turn it on and get ready to leave, ask yourself then, how do I feel? Do I feel the same way? And if I do feel the same way, why do you think that is? Was there a trigger? If you don't feel the same way, ask yourself that. What triggered me to change from that? And so when you get in your car and you start driving, I want you to think about all of those things. But be safe. I don't want you to just ignore the road signs and all that stuff, just to think about that. Because all day, I want you to think about, why did I feel that way? And how did that make me feel? And if your mood alters anytime during the day, whether happy, sad, depressed, something angry or whatever, write down what did that. Write it down. I want you to do that. And so when you get home that day, continue to do this all day. Tomorrow, I want you to do this, because this is the first day. So it's going to be like, really, because we're trying to figure out how you woke up. And so at night, before you go to bed, I want you to look over at the events of your day. I want you to look over your events of your day, and I want you to look over what you written when you got up that morning till right before you picked up the paper to see. And I want you to notate everything that went on in your day. Everything that went on in your day that was triggered. That triggered your emotion. That triggered your happiness. That made you sad. That made you happy. That made you angry. I want you to trigger everything that caused you to react. Everything. And so that's what you lay down to sleep. So after you put the paper aside, after you put it aside and discover that stuff, I want you to sit there and I want you to meditate on that. And these are the things I want you to ask. I want you to say after that, okay, reveal to me what all this is, and then go to sleep. That's what I want you to do. Reveal to me what all this is and go to sleep. And I want you to have the best rest that you've ever had. When you get back up on Tuesday morning, ask yourself the same thing. What do I feel? da 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 da, go through the same motions. I want you to do this all week long until you come back here on Sunday to get more instructions. But this week, starting tomorrow, I want you to monitor your emotions, those triggers that cause your emotions to be that way. Everything. I want you to do that. Why is this important? Because when I did this for me, I realized that every decision that I made, every step that I took, every friendship, every job, every anything that I did was based on how I was feeling at that time. And so that's a good thing and that's a bad thing. Because if I was feeling some type of way that I was just making a decision, then that means I made an extremely bad decision and I reaped the consequences of that. And they were bad consequences. But if I did it based on this is the right thing to do, then I reaped a harvest, a good harvest from that. So I want you to really think about that. Our emotions run rampant on a regular basis. We are spiritual beings, but we are in human bodies. And because we're in human bodies on this earth, there's things that'll rub us the wrong way. There are people that will definitely rub you the wrong way. And if you have children and a spouse, yeah, they're going to rub you the wrong way. You would pick. You can even rub yourself the wrong way. But I want us to get those things under control because those are the things that are playing with our minds. They're playing with our lives. And that is the reason why we either make it or don't make it. That's the reason why we either isolate or go before the crowd. So we really need to know those things. And for you guys that know here at Bold and Unique Living, these are the things we've been talking about on our talk show. And these are the things that before you can move forward in anything, you need to know these things because this is where you're going to discover your identity is in these things. You're going to discover your identity. I know people want to just jump to the end of it and say, well, can I just know? You know what? There is a process to everything. And when we skip processes, you may find your identity in that. I've tried to skip processes, move to the front of the line, all that stuff. Didn't work. Still had to come back. So the process is everything. You need to understand that there's a process to everything and you need to follow the process for you. Your process may be different from mine, but nevertheless, it's a process. I'm glad you have enjoyed the day with me. Continue to email us. Email me at Katrina Lokko, Katrina, Lokko, Lokko, at woawmedia.com. You can always call us, text us at 214-940-7270. I'm wanting to hear from you. I'm wanting to engage with you guys. We're getting ready to have a couple of workshops, Zoom shops going on, a couple of conferences, and I want you to be a part of all of that. So when I put this out there, the conference will be coming up. I want you to grab your ticket. It's a free conference. I want you to grab your tickets. Donations are welcome. They're always welcome. Even on the podcast, please subscribe to our YouTube, our podcast, and hit the notification bell because I want to bring you some stuff. Sometimes you'll see me like this and sometimes you just see me laid back in my sweats because I'm real. I want you guys to be real. We ought to be tired of faking it. Don't you want real? Don't you want real? Even our shows on our network, all of them are not scripted. And some are scripted because that's what it is. But most of them are not scripted. And so I want us to be real with ourselves. I want us to learn how to be happy and how to have joy and recover what we've lost, rediscover who we truly are because we powerful, y'all. We are mighty. We are bold and unique. We are fearfully, wonderfully made. And I want you to rip off every label that everybody's placed on you, especially the ones that you've placed on yourself. I'm telling you, get in a place this week of telling yourself you're taking back your life. And you guys, I always talk about owning your own voice and taking your voice back. You're going to do that by doing these small steps. So I love you guys. Continue to write us. Continue to email us. Love on us. We're loving on you. Let's all pray for each other. I love you. Thank you.